And this is what Imam al-Ghazali is arguing. And so he begins it with eating and drinking. We eat with no presence anymore. People used to take time before they ate and said grace. Even in this country, people would stop before they ate and they would thank their Lord for the gifts which they were about to receive. This was common practice, being present with food. People used to be present when they cooked food. They cooked food with love. I had one teacher, one of my teachers, Omar Malahji, his wife would cook her food, doing prayer on the Prophet the entire time with niyatu shifa, that God would make that food a healing for the people that ate it and make the energy that they derive from it used for worshiping Allah. They would only buy from grocers in Medina that they knew prayed 5 times in the prayer in the masjid. They would go out and pick their own animals and sacrifice them because they didn't want to buy meat from these butchers that they didn't know how they were treating the animals. This is a real family that I have visited over the years. It is a fact, and I guarantee you many people have experienced this. If you go and have eaten a full meal, and you go there and they serve you food in the house of Omar Malahji, you will not get indigestion by eating a second meal immediately after that at his house. And many people have testified to this because they will force you to eat. They will say, kul, kul, kul. They say, kul karrijal wa ibka jimal. You know, eat like men and drink like camels. That food was made with presence. We forget, people don't have energy anymore. How is your food being manufactured? How is it being grown? How is it being cooked? Because this is where energy comes from. It comes from, that's the sabab for the energy that we live on is caloric. It's heat derived from these means that God has given us. So he talks about being present when you eat, chewing your food, being grateful, not putting another morsel in until you finish chewing the morsel that's in your mouth, because he says this is from gluttony. To don't eat quickly, to eat with gratitude. Never mention death at the table. He says death is not an appropriate, because he said if your heart is alive and people mention death at eating, you should lose your appetite, and if you don't, it's a sign that your heart is dead. Wendell Berry the other night talked about people now reading about massacres or watching them on television while they're eating their dinners. And it has no effect on them. This is from deadened hearts. We're no longer feeling.